Oh, yeah. We will start the class with making sure our intention being here and to participate, such as meditation, some readings, listening to the talk, and also listening to the end of the text oral transmission. And at the end, there's a dedication. So participate in these activities with a positive and a constructive intention is extremely helpful and useful to ourselves and also to others, and immediately during the class, as well as for the long term. Positive intention from our heart, not in a form of mimicking or pretending, or just somebody told us this is the positive intention, or not in that way. Basically we all have the ability, potential to experience many layers of positive mind. So it is useful, helpful to explore or to really try to have a positive intention from our heart. A genuine, a sincere intention is useful. It can be very, very simple, not necessarily have the deep philosophical reasons or some form of profound spiritual reasons. No, it can be just day-to-day, everyday common sense, positive mind, and that will be perfectly fine. Then, of course, people who like to join the class, due to some spiritual reasons, following the teachings of the Buddha, then such as following the teachings of the Buddha, then set our intention according to the teachings of the Buddha, such as cultivating or experiencing, holding the mind of taking refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, which will be very, very useful, and also the altruistic awakened mind, bodhicitta. So try all our best to start the class with a positive mind. Prayer book, page 27, Refuge and Bodhicitta. Sanje cheda tsoje chonam la chanju pado dane jaso che dage cheje jebe tsononji dola penje sanje dopa sanje cheda tsoje chonam la chanju pado dane jaso che dage che jibe tsonamanji dola penje sanje doba sho sanje cheda tsoje chonamla chanjo pado dane jaso che dage jenso jibe tsonamanji dola penje sanje doba sho. Oh, yeah. So with this positive and constructive intention to join the class, first we'll do a brief silent meditation. Meditation that helps to enhance a calm, clear, and focused mind. The mind which has the mental quality of stillness, stability. That is, our minds have the ability to stay with one given event or an object, and to enhance, to nurture the mental quality of clarity. That is, while the mind is with the object of the meditation, that can be your breathing or particular event, or not necessarily to have a particular object of the meditation, just to stay to the present, right here and now. But same time, it is important to have the quality of clarity. That is, the full attention, the full awareness is present. So in that case, we'll have these two qualities, stillness and the clarity. When these two qualities are present, then we will experience a calm, clear, and focused mind, which will be extremely helpful and useful in our daily lives, in our everyday lives, and also in our spiritual journey. So for that purpose, we'll do just about 10 minutes silent meditation. Now in this single page photocopy, lineage prayers. And because this is this evening class is part of the reading this text, Middling Lamrim, as an oral transmission, also giving some commentaries. And part of the tradition, it reads the lineage master's prayer. And this is what here we are going to do. And read these verses with a strongly and clearly imagined the historical Buddha Gautama is present in front of us with his all the great qualities, particularly his fully cultivated great compassion, loving kindness towards all living creatures, and also his fully cultivated great wisdom, that strongly, clearly, vividly imagine the Buddha is present, not in a form of statue or a painting, but as a real person. Also, you can imagine some of those great teachers from Indian masters to up to those present those great teachers, like from Indian master, Nagarjuna, Aryadev, the Asanga, also Atisha around 11th century, who came to Tibet. One of his important texts is the main sort of base source of the text that Tsongkhapa has written, the text that we are reading. And also, the Tsongkhapa himself, 14th century, great Tibetan teacher and scholar and practitioner. And also some of those present, those great teachers, like His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama and others, that whom we have received teachings, the advice, instruction, and also initiations. Imagine they are also present here in front of us with all their great qualities. So create an atmosphere, an atmosphere that all these great teachers are in front of us, where we listen, contemplate, meditate on this important text that directly and indirectly have the connection, relations to all those great teachers up to the historical Buddha himself. So with that, now we read the lineage prayers. Benzogele chewe tume ko tayen dowe rewa ko we son ma lu che cha che shen se be to de so de que cha se dai me de ba te ye se ji cho ja que ye koro namaine chai me shen do te be nam re wa me ba ma
Jamyang la chai tse lo shen do pa kai wai jai we yomo che shen gong pa zhen zhe zam le yen lo do to me chen sa so mo na yo so tai be sha wa la tai cha ce chen dai che bo nye le ju pe sa mo tai wa jai che pe la ma mai no yo so zoi be ne de be tai be ze mai me ze la de me ze te je re se te me kembe wan bo jan be ya kai je kembe zoi je zong ga ba lo sa tai be sha la so wa de ma wa lo sa ge de nye bo so zhe ge jai chen ra de cho we so se so wa gyoro so ba me be de na ba ja we de so wa de ra ja so ra wa ge la tai we me ke sa ta ra ba de be jo ngoi cho ze we je be tai ke ze ba ye sen ze she nye nam la ge cha.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. So some of you know, some of you may not know. That tonight is the last Wednesday evening in this program, evening class in this program with me. And also tonight is the last reading this text, and I'm going to conclude reading this text, mainly the oral transmission, and the have brief the commentaries in some part of the today's reading, because my oral transmission is very much behind the reading the text itself. So tonight I'm going to do slightly different from that we did last few Wednesday evenings. First I will say a little bit on the subject where we are reading, and then I will read the oral transmission, maybe 10, 12 minutes. Then I will again go back to the text that are our reading. Then, again conclude the oral transmission. We'll end, hopefully we'll able to end by 9. So in that way, I need to do more reading as a part of the oral transmission. So I will go straight to the topic that we are reading. You to know a little bit, particularly people who are this evening is your first evening. You have some sort of idea that what we are reading and the text, the topic that we are studying. The section that we are reading is the section where Geshe covers detailed explanation, how to cultivate, how to nurture, wisdom, realizing emptiness, which is one of the most important wisdom to be cultivated, to be enhanced. In general, in the teachings of the Buddha, and in particularly, in the Bodhisattva and the teachings, Mahayana teachings, which these teachings are very much based on the historical Buddha's teachings. Among his teachings, a group of sutras called Panchaparamita Sutras, Perfection of Wisdom Sutras. And these group of sutras, quite big, what you call the quantities. Some are very extensive, some are very short. Their main topic is, importance of having this wisdom realizing emptiness. Why it is important for us to cultivate this wisdom, because the root of our predicament situation, this kind of unenlightened, the conditioned existence. Although there are many good things, many joyful things that we can experience, nevertheless, our lives are not perfect. There are many shortcomings, and we will know from our own experiences, particularly at the gross level. And all these shortcomings, all these predicaments or difficulties are very much, of course, external conditions contribute, but the main causes are within ourselves. Same time, the main tools to overcome from these difficulties are also within ourselves, not from outside. So this, among those causes, the historical Buddha and the subsequent Buddhist teachers have, pointed out one thing, one sort of cause that is, technically called fundamental ignorance. Fundamental ignorance in the sense, the believing, perceiving, grasping, that things and events, including our identity and all our wishes, all our yearnings, or that all our dislikes, all the things and events have some kind of intrinsic, inherent core nature, who they are and what they are. And that is what the Buddha and the subsequent Buddhist teachers named that kind of belief, that kind of grasping is called fundamental ignorance. And that is the root of all the difficulties, shortcomings that we have physically and particularly mentally. So to uproot that fundamental ignorance, only way to uproot is within ourselves to cultivate wisdom. Among the many wisdoms that we can cultivate, the most, what's called the powerful direct antidote to uproot that fundamental ignorance is this wisdom, called wisdom, realizing emptiness. So that is the main topic that we are, our reading, the section that we are reading. And that wisdom is cultivated on the basis of two mental states. One is called, in Sanskrit, shamatha. The another one is called vipassana in Sanskrit. Two different mental states which are used to nurture this wisdom realizing emptiness. And shamatha, or sometimes in English translated, in this particular text, the translation that we are reading is, he translated saying quiescence or calm abiding, or there are several different translations. It is a mental state which has, as I mentioned earlier when I was talking about meditation, it is a mental state which has this quality, the quality of the stability and clarity. That is the essence of this. Whatever name that we use, shamatha, quiescence, in Tibetan shine, that kind of mental state, stillness and the clarity have that kind of quality. Stillness in the sense our mind is able to stay on one given task or event or an object as long as we want, without any form of interruption, disturbance. And the clarity, while the mind is with the object of the meditation or with a particular event, it has a full full awareness, full attention is present. And that kind of mental state is called shamatha. And the second mind is called vipassana. Vipassana, as we saw last Wednesday evening reading, vipassana is a mental state which has a high levels of, high capability of to analyze, to examine, particularly some of those very, what you call the detail or the subtle realities. Realities our present mind cannot be able to realize, cannot be able to, probe. And this, through this cultivation of vipassana, it is a very, what you call a strong, initially a strong element of analysis, the analytical mental states. And that is, generally speaking, put it as a vipassana. So here, wisdom realizing emptiness is, that kind of wisdom understanding is, based on these two minds. These two minds are initially cultivated, separately, according to these teachings, as we saw last Wednesday evening, and today briefly we'll see. Initially cultivated shamatha. On the basis of shamatha, then cultivated vipassana. Eventually, these two become union in the sense no separation as a one, just the stillness and the clarity do not have any form of analytical, or have a very strong element of analysis, but not to have the stillness and the clarity, not in that sense, to bring those two together, which we will see. I will point it out to you a little bit later, and to bring two together, and on that basis, this wisdom, this understanding emptiness is nurtured. People can have understanding of emptiness wisdom understanding of emptiness without these two minds. That is perfectly possible. But to wisdom realizing emptiness, to nurture, in its full strength, in its full capacity, full strength, full capacity in the sense to counteract, to act as an antidote for the root of the difficulty, that is fundamental ignorance. Not just the fundamental ignorance itself to be uprooted, but also all its propensity or any trace of that fundamental ignorance to be uprooted, our psychic, then this wisdom realizing emptiness should be nurtured by these union of shamatha and vipassana. And that is our reading. That's our reading, and just let you know that's the main topic. And as I said, now first I'm going to read a little bit my Tibetan text as an oral transmission, and while I'm reading the Tibetan text as an oral transmission, you can just sit, relax, or do a short silent meditation, or if you have text somewhere with you, and then you can read from page 190, that's and also you can read from page 190. That where we are going. We started from there, and you can read. Also you can read from page 192, and those are the I'm going to touch on briefly later. While So first, let me read the text a little bit in oral transmission. So that means in Tibetan. Somba demba ni la kebra chakwe teba ni deni je na me she na tube deni je na me she na tube kale me mamba da me she na ne me she na tembe deni me she ba song na ten ya gombo lu de je che da ten la be she ba juba le lo ben lu du she je la me ne chiro ju la she we ta me do te da kun zo deni te la nyam be ta ba tu 타니 덴바 탑소 교바다 텐담 덴바 타준 교바데 티니 남에 관계 메셰바 데네 남도로베 랑메쇼 셰송베 타바 데바 남제 데니 라카버라 차와 신도 켈레 차고 니바 파동게 라베 숨 파동게 초당 소스 교육 검제 파동 조로 시조당 라베소 당보네 나라셰바다라 파동게 초 덴바라 당메니 도버 당메니 도베 다와니 바라 파동 고모거버 셰바오 공부를 자오 니바니 오나 활동도 두시 연년나 되니 사천배 활동 남아 조로 메든지 소소 교육 되게 공부를 자 활동 조로 된바다 숨바라 도로 된 게시 예도 셔바 숨마 당보니 대 활동게 예와 조버를 셔나 오시 오니 셰다 고숨제다 초와 조게 활동 니바 제버를 셔바라 시셰바다 숨셰바 주어셔봐 숨마 담보네 신에 공대래 숨배 넘버 셔봐 소 쇼텔라 넘버 셔바네 진이발라 메바 라도 넘버 셔바네 치다발라 메바 담발라 용소 도바다 용소 셔바 니라 니발라야 도바다 셔바 니여데 라바다 타와 넘버 셔바오 대시 문제네 니사다 시진 명할래 숨발래 소 니바 활동게 주고 거네 숨마 셔바다 고수마네 공대래 참말래 중화다 용소 소와래 중 소소 도발래 중화 소소 도발래 중화 숨마 셔바오 당보니 대숨게 문제네 담에베 더 더보실라 천나 당보 당메니 원점발라미네 대참마이라 쳐바다 된라 아바 만도 메제 바오 니바 네 아마 나니바네 나라 망에 방에 버쳐베 쳐도 된라 아바오 숨바니 네세베 된라 나라 신도 쳐바 차와 숨마 조바 숨바 조도 셔바라 숨 당보 도된 화동게 미바네 조셔바네 초와 초게 된 초와 초네 된다 오보다 참마다 초다 되다 Rigpa Nama Yonso Chowa Cheba Chechen Soso Yonso Chowa Chechen Chowa Legian Soso Toba Nipa Soso Chebane Tela Tun Chowa Chige Tun Dine Di No She Chowa Da Ngobo Chowa Ne Dine Nango Dine Chen Ngobo She Chama Chowa La Nide Te Rangi Chinyi Da Ji Chinyi Do Sheba Ma Tumo Wada Tumo Ma Yinba Chowa Chowa Ne Chowa Ne Na Cho Jun Da Nimi Gone Da Ka Cho Yun Den Da Pen Je Gone Chowa Tu Chowa Ne Debe Tu Na De Da Chungwa Da Maung Be Tu Na De Da Chungwa Da Da We Tu Na De Da Yu Do She Chowa Rigpa Chowa Ne Rigpa Shile Tebe Rigpa Ne Debo Nama Chungwa Ju Da Tian La Deba Tene Dian Kunzo Da Tuen Da Ba Da Te Da Ge Shi Nama So Shi Nama So So Gone Chowa Chawa Chebe Rigpa Ne Me Sekbe Chawa Cheba So Chö Namge Rang Rangi Chawa Cheba Tenyang Dine Chö So Dine Cheba Bo Dine Chawa Di Chedo She Chowa Tebe Tebe Rigpa Ne Chama Da Minga Wa Tuen Choba Dinyang Chi Dila Yang Usum Da Cheba Da Yi Chebe Lunge Chama Suma Ye Yue Da Me Nyamado Chowa Cheba O Chungi Ge Rigpa Ne Me Chungi Ni Rigpa Ne Me Chawa Da Chulen Bala Soba Te Da Chinyi Do Jigdena Takbe Chunyi Da Sambe Samje Mi Tebe Chunyi Da Nebe Chunyi La Mebra Cheba De Tara Yinbe Junse Shen Ma Shen Sambara Cheba De Tara Chowa O Choba Sumba Choba Te Migbe Gone Cheba La Suma Te Tara Chodo Shaba Nenju Be Shebra Chawa Ne Sumdo Ngeba Da Migbe Sheba Da Sheja Chinyi Ba Te Tara Chawa Te La Tangbe Wangdo Chena Chowa Tangbo Nibe Wangdo Chena Chowa Tang Cho Nibe Wangdo Chena Ngobo Chowa Da Rangi Chinyi Chowa Niso Sumbe Wangdo Chena Hama Da Ji Chinyi Chowa Sheo Sumba Yedo Sheba La Ni Tangbo Chowa Shila Gosuma Da Chukdo Duzu Ni Tangbora Shebe Hadong Shi Gone Suma Yin La Cholo Ne Chukdo Sumbe Gosum Da Chowa Tuge Ngama Shire Duwa Niba Tela Yiji Shi Yuzu Ni Ngara Shebe Dimde Chube Yiji La Soba Shinya Shila Nige Tumowa Yinbe Nyesara Sombe Hadong La Ya Yiji Shi Yu Sumba Hadong Gombe Chola Suma Shine La Tene Hadong Hadong Gombra Sumbe Tenbada Lo De Tewa Chijong Kangi Lamanto Lamge Ondo Chebada Shinela Tenel Hadong Gomjung Tambola Je Tambo Ne Tetara Gomba Tetara Gomba Shong Tomane Sumbane Gondele Ngara Gondele Ondo Shine Duba Chebada Che Hadong Gombra Sumba Shindo Chizun Je Shune Changsada Nyesada Lende Jedan Shin Chiwala Da Kamala Shile Gomime Song Da Pajin Nangaji Shong Tomale Jang Song Niba Shong Tedale Ondo Chedar Migbe Shine Ken Che Damela Mide Jongya Hadong Songba Min Hadong Songwa Minbani De Namane Dinamje Gombane Ondo Dangmeje Tonla Mi Dangmeje Tonla Mamiba Migba Karon Chela Mibe Shine Ken Che Damela Mide Jongwa Ni La Hadong Cheba Minde Hadong Shilani Migbe Gone Cheba Mimbe Cheta Shijin Mengale Jang Songzin Nidonge Ten Nidonge Tinila Mine Mondo Shine Jong Jebe Wodo Migba Tinila Mine Chegom Hadong Jebara Shebe Chereta Papa Tome Jang Jinibala Mibe Hadong Sheje Mondo Shine Sembe Jesu Tela Tene Shila Tela Tene Shirage Namba Chingel Hadong Gombar Sumbe Chereta Ten Chinani Dan Jepa Nige Tomoge Lando Sumbe Chero Sumba Shila Tong Sumba Shine Tomara Dubo Ze Migba Tere Ze Chido Jo Ze Migba De Ze Chido Jo Jobale Namba Tumami Je Mirumba Tena Shine Ngara Matoba Sado Duban Sado Dumnane Migba Karunla Ze Chido Shan Duba Mado Range Migba La Namba Tumar Chene Dudo Mirunde Ngara Tara Ngama Tara Chena Duboje Chima Tara Shine Medu Shine Dumi Sebe Chero Shiba Shine Udo Dubo Sing
Jokuma Sama Che, Chekuma Chena, Zejiwe Dingy Toba Chewa, Zejiwe Dingy Topchewan, Shine Mudo Dubo Singi, Nara Shin, Jokuma Sama She, Gomba Singwale, Chitawa, Chinibe Kapso, Kambala, Sherabi Sozo Chebe, Jokumoga, Jokum Chena Tere, Zejiwe Dingy, Kabara Jen, Den Tube. They Jibe Dingin Dingin, Shindo Tobacha, Topcha Doba, Dawa, Amen, Jacomon, so Naba, Duzu, Tini Miwate, Miwa, Duzu, Tini Miwala, Zejo, Shilagi, Junzu Mendawa, Ni Onwe, Junzeto, Sonwani, Duzu, Tini, Duzu Tini, Ne. Duzu te shine do zawala tene chi la dong ko be chu yin be dang me de be mi wa ji la ya shi la ge dong chu min de shi la ge dong chu min de wa ni yong wei jun zhen jin ne de yin no zhu ba shine zhu ba shi ra na ba jian da dang me na ba jian la dong gong ba tu che wa ne che da do ka ma gong ge jian ka ma gong ge jun so ro je be shi ra je na ba jian da dang me we 소소로 도배 셔럽지 젠 경배 담에게 나바진 나바진게 하동 고반에 녀바 쇼탈라 땡 녀바 쇼탈라 땡바제 제와라고 소소 방자 봉와라 토쳐와인 땡바 제녀발라 메베 합진녀발라 메베 하동신 아유전에 지니발라 메베 하동네 니몽 주로시베 시라 니몽 주치베 시라게 나바진 동 나바진도 공바 마세 셰진 명아도 셰바다 카마 쪽게지 친이 나바르제베 제고마야 인베 대천에 진입에 쳐나마 쳐 진입에 나바라 제바고 나바르제네 공베 화동신 셰바라 차오 제바 셰진 명아레 셰베 고님다 메다와 디레시 와라 소제 셰바다라 인주니 셰진 명아레 치다와 셰진 명아레 치다와라 미베 신네니 실라니 제베 원도 진입 제베 원도 제베 원도 진입발라 미베 내조지 세 신실라 니제 원도 당와 셰자 데네 셰와라다 까말라 셰라 소 셰바다라 원도 신네 가론 셰제네 하동 제바인 대야 지다와라 미베 하동이 뜬 니발로데 특전 태바치종 토모 태바치종 관계 라만게 원도 쳐발라 숨 당보 태바치종 탐제제 토마와인 나지 게데 오마소말라야 아르셰 숨라야 더셔바네 오나 데베실라 림젠도 제수네 태바치종다 동아 관계 원도 쳐바인 셴 디네니라다 파진 디네니라다 파로도 준비 태반이다 태 두다시 토모와이랑 아지 주데 손라야 다와 주 소소다 대다게인데세 제데세 침보 셰바 아지 라문제 림바라 셰센도 니바 네조라메레 세메 사바다 티시니라 소베미베 네조제 셰라도 제 셰바네 네조라나 메바니 네졸라나 메바니 셰제명알레 랑게 세메네 따바자 추근라네 최대 남과 도제네 최당 최님 셰송 상들레 장 송베 랑셰레 장 sem자라네 데네소 치로 태라미도 셰소제 덴베 세멘점 셰소제 덴베 세멘점라 메바다 디신이라 메바다 낭메지 네조제 사수마 덴바라 체진 사담분이라 조금다 제곰게 실라 고문수 나르신 체바라나베 제다와라 메베 귤라 제다와라 메베 귤라 제주 다와라 셰도.
Oh yeah, so for the time being I will stop my reading here, but still I need to read a little bit, so I will do this later. So today's our reading, just briefly recap, as you can see on page 190, 190, as in the heading, how to meditate on transcendent insight, that is the vipassana, meaning of meditation on the insight based on quiescence. This which I briefly mentioned last Wednesday evening, once again to just briefly recap. In these, the big paragraphs, page 190 and 191, and it continues up to 192. These pages, the main Geshe Tashi's main focus is, giving his sources where he is based on that his view or his explanation that is the cultivation of shamatha and the cultivation of sequence, cultivation of vipassana, the sequence or the state what's called sequence is fixed at certain level. Some certain practice may not be fixed, but generally the sequence is fixed. That means first shamatha, then vipassana. That's the main, and he made quotation from many great Indian masters that he lists, of those great masters, page 190. Under that heading, he gave these names of Maitreya, Asanga, and also Bhavavika, Shantideva, Kamalashila. So that is his soul. These are his sources that he makes, this, what's called that sequence. But there are some exceptional cases. That is, when you practice not just Vajrayana practice, within the Vajrayana, first three classes follow the same sequence. First shamatha, then vipassana. But if you are practicing highest yoga tantra, then this sequence will not necessarily follow. It is perfectly possible because of the nature of the practice. The practitioner can cultivate, develop, the both shamatha and vipassana at the same time. It is because of the nature of the practice of the highest yoga tantra. And there are also one or two other exceptional cases. Otherwise, that is, Then there is also, if somebody wants to cultivate shamatha, then cultivate vipassana. In terms of the, base, what kind of subject or object they should take as a focus their mind to cultivate shamatha and to cultivate vipassana. So if somebody who had cultivated shamatha on the basis of his or her breathing, or on the basis of image of Buddha, any object can be used to cultivate this single-pointed mind. Then when he or she had cultivated shamatha using your breathing or image of Buddha or anything, then later when he had cultivated vipassana on the basis, in this case vipassana on the basis of emptiness, that will work. These two doesn't need to be the same object of the meditation. After you have cultivated shamatha on the basis of the image of Buddha, then on that shamatha, then if you cultivate vipassana, that your cultivation of vipassana, if you want to do the emptiness, or you can do some other things, some other object of the meditation, like the nature of dukkha, like the impermanence, like the other things, other object of meditation that you can. So this is also one of the, in other words, two meditation, shamatha meditation and vipassana meditation don't need to be the same object. It can be the same object, but don't need to be the same object. And that is one clarification that Geshe is making. So that is really very much those. Now today's reading, verse 1, the page 192, under the heading of vehicles in terms of which this system applied. So in other words, saying that, to this, what we are talking about, requirement of shamatha and vipassana, required in general, and particularly in this particular context that we are talking at, the shamatha and vipassana, or union of shamatha and vipassana, realizing emptiness. So is it that kind of requirement, that kind of need is only one particular, what you call the strand of the practice or vehicle, that term is used here, or it is some kind of universal requirement of that kind of mental state. And so this is what, and this here, Geshe has mentioned, it is universal. Universal in the sense, people who seek self-liberation, oneself to be free from dukkha and the origins of dukkha, they also need to cultivate shamatha and vipassana. And the people who follow the bodhisattvayana, and the people who follow the vajrayana, all these are different, slightly different sort of strands. The sincerely practitioner need to cultivate both vipassana and meditation, and shamatha and vipassana. In fact, cultivation of shamatha and vipassana is not unique Buddhist sort of practice. Ancient Indian non-Buddhist, the spiritual traditions also have these kind of, cultivate teachings and practices of cultivation of all those things, and that is this under this heading, which I will not read one by one. And then the page 193, under the heading of actual way to meditate on insight in the sense of vipassana, and here the particularly vipassana particularly referring to the wisdom realizing emptiness. Insight was not any kind of insight, the insight, the wisdom can be wisdom realizing emptiness, wisdom realizing impermanence, wisdom realizing nature of suffering, and so on and so forth. But in here, we are looking at a particular wisdom, particular insight, that is wisdom or insight realizing selflessness or emptiness. And that is what here, they're saying, actual way to meditate on insight based on quiescence, that is shamatha. And if you, I will just briefly read, how Tsongkhapa start this section. He says, if you do not discover in the sense of if you do not realize, if you do not understand the view of selflessness or view of emptiness, these two terms can be interchangeables in particular in this section. If you do not discover the view of emptiness, no matter what method of meditation you practice, your meditation will not abide on the import of thusness. Thusness in the sense emptiness. These terms are interchangeable. Thusness, selflessness, emptiness, and there are other terms are there. So what Tsongkhapa is saying here, if you really want to meditate, do the vipassana meditation, on this case vipassana meditation on emptiness, if you want to do a very thorough, detailed, close analysis on emptiness, first you need to understand the emptiness itself. At least in a sort of some of the points which we read earlier. What is empty of? What are the, that so on and so forth. Without that kind of understanding, Vipassana meditation on emptiness cannot be done. Because Vipassana meditation to do the Vipassana meditation on emptiness, you have to have some understanding of what is emptiness. For example, this is a common analogy. For example, a detective who wants to find out a criminal, who burgled somebody's home. If he or she the detective has some form of how that person, burglar, looks like, and it is quite clear, the clearer, more detailed description that he or she has, it is easier and it is, the quicker to find out who is that person. If the detective doesn't have description, all these things, it is just, there isn't that much to analyze, examine who are the person, or who is the person. And it is the similar, almost exactly the same sort of, the argument here. Vipassana, as I mentioned earlier, Vipassana is a mental state, mental activities which do the analysis. To form that form of analysis, you have to have on what basis, on what topic that you are analyzing. And these are already mentioned in this section in the past. We look at about, as I briefly touched on earlier, that fundamental ignorance, that our minds believing, perceiving, things and event in a particular fashion, and whether that perceiving, believing is accurate or not, those are the things need to analyze. That is what here. Whether the things and events really exist as we believe, as they appear to us, as we, sort of what you call the, hold, grasp, or the things and events do not exist as we believe. That doesn't mean they do not exist. This second part is important. As we believe, as we perceive. It is not saying they don't exist. That is here the Vipassana meditation involves. And prior to that, for the practitioner, that is another important thing is, another important analysis is, does that ignorance, that believing that things and events have some kind of core nature, some kind of core essence, what they are, some kind of intrinsic in there, or not, that believing that, how that believing, how that ignorance cause all the problems. And that understanding is also important for the practitioner. For the simple people who just simply want to do the analysis, that's different. Not business very much too. But for the people who follow the teachings of the Buddha, that is the essence. And that will motivate a person to pursue the analysis. That is the key factor. And that's we saw maybe last year, our reading, where Tsongkhapa explains root of the samsara, where he explains all these afflictions and how among the afflictions, some are what technically called innate, some are contrite, and so on and so forth. Why mention right at the beginning that section? For the practitioner to get a good understanding what you are doing, what we are doing. If, that is not there, that part is not there, or if not part, or if we are not really fully sort of aware of while we are doing this analytical meditation, then it becomes very shallow, not that much long-term goal or the aim, and that's something useful. So it is useful to remember that. So then that paragraph, the paragraph that we are just read, here Tsongkhapa is suggesting after you have cultivated vipassana and shamatha and vipassana, and then the meditation, the style of them, in this case particularly on the emptiness, the style of the meditation, is very much in a good balance. Not all the time, the shamatha meditation on emptiness, not all the time, the vipassana meditation on emptiness. Some kind of good balance. Good balance in the sense, not all the time that single-pointed, not all the time analysis. Start with a single-pointed, follow the analysis, do the single-pointed. That is the structure, normally. And that kind of analysis, that kind of meditation, then gives you very good balance. If your meditation is mainly focused on shamatha, here the term is, in Tibetan, is called jogom, and what's here the term is used. Focus. Quiescence, there's another one maybe used. In Tibetan, it's called jogom. Jogom, quite often translated in English, placed meditation. The placement meditation and analytical meditation. Placement meditation in the sense your mind is simply placed on the object of the meditation. There isn't that kind of element of analysis. So this part are really talking about, the need all those things together. If you look at, the end of that paragraph, that Tsongkhapa make a conclusion. I'm reading at page 193, and under the heading, that first paragraph, end of that. Therefore, you should practice, through specific analysis by means of wisdom of, the in part of selflessness as explained before. Then if you follow the next one, it says, if you practice analytic meditation by itself, the quiescence you previously generated will decline. So you should practice analytic meditation mounted on the horse of quiescence. Now, then blending in periods of focused meditation. That here he translated focus, or I used earlier placed meditation, focused meditation. Moreover, if you practice analytic meditation often, your focus decreases, so you should often return to focused meditation. So placement, analysis, placement, that kind of moving back and forward. This is again a part of the making our own mind, first of all, sharp, quick, same time to have the stability. Because sometimes when our mind is very sharp and quick, in that sharpness and quickness may not be stability. Stability may not be there. Or if there's a stability, may not be sharpness and quickness. And that is what here, this great teacher, Tsongkhapa, he wrote a nice prayer to be born in a pure pure land, Demen to be very nice one, relatively long compared to some others, but very nice. And there, one of the section he listed different types of our if I use the term wisdom, Sherab Chewa, Nurwa, Sapa, Salwa. So there are 4 different kinds of wisdom. Sherab Chewa, that means wisdom which has ability. Capability is vast, not just looking at a narrow particular object, particular subject. Have the wisdom which has the ability to take it a vast amounts or vast things and events, take into account to do the analysis. Sherab Chewa. Sherab Nurwa, that means have a very quick, sharp, quick, to do the whatever need to be found out, whatever need to be analyzed, have that kind of quick. Sherab Chewa, Nurwa. Saba, that is wisdom which has a profundity, not in a shallow analysis, do the analysis in a shallow level, in the surface level, but analyzing in a more depth, like emptiness, like impermanence, like nature of dukkha, from the Buddhist point of view. And it's from some other, the field point of view, they again going more detail in the depth, Neurosavacha. Then Salwa, wisdom which has clarity. Sometimes we may have the analysis, but it is not very clear. Our analysis is not very clear. Moving one to another, and not very pinpoint. So that's what this master also said. So, so my point is this. So to cultivate, to nurture these kind of wisdoms, then constantly you're in your meditation, alternating from the placement meditation on emptiness to analytical meditation on emptiness, and moving back and forward. And that way, the what you call the sharpness, focus, all will come very sort of come together. And that's what here Geshe Tashi is explaining, page 3139, 193. So then remaining these page 194, 195, 196, 197, continue to up to 199. These the pages are which Geshe Tashi is making some clarification. At his time, have a different views on what is shamatha, what is vipassana, how they can be cultivated, how they should be in terms of the sequence, and so on and so forth. So he's making, giving us some references, some of those great Indian masters, and so making some clarification. And I will not go because we don't have time to do that. Yeah. So then page 200. Page 200 is this. Way to integrate of quiescence and the insight. And that is which I mentioned earlier. I mentioned earlier, and to bringing, it is to bringing these two together, the shamatha and the vipassana. To bringing those two together, together is something the important one. Important one because, again, according to the Buddhists, some of those great Indian masters like what's his name, Dignac, 4th century, and 7th century Dhammakirti. Great epistemologists, Buddhist epistemologists, as well as logicians. And according to their interpretation, according to their explanation, how the knowledge, how the wisdom, can sort of nurture for, long period of time in many different stages. And one of the stage, which is called, quite often translated, first I would say in Tibetan, it is called Neljor Ngusum. Yeah, in Tibetan called Neljor Ngusum. And it is quite often translated yogic direct perception. Yogic direct perception. It is a direct perception like our eyes, ears, smell, tongue, which has direct connection to the objects, like our eyes have a direct connection, although there are different views, but say that direct contact with the shapes and colors, all those things. And our mental state, at our mental state, we can, sort of nurture through the cultivation of these two, shamatha and vipassana, particularly on some of those subtle realities, on emptiness, on the impermanence, on the nature of dukkha, that through that, then eventually we will experience yogic direct perception. The term yogic is used, there's no any mystery in that term, behind that term, yogic. Oh, you may think, what's that? It is simply, I think Sanskrit might be the same in Tibetan, Neljor. Neljor, Neljor. Those two syllables have a good meaning. Nelma means, the real or, how it is. Jorwa means arriving at where it is and how it is. So in other words, those people who see, who understand things and events as they are, and those people are called yogi. The Neljorpa in Tibetan, and quite often in English translated practitioner. But the practitioner has many meanings, from the Mickey Mouse practitioner to all the way up. It is how this word is used. There's no any mysterious meaning behind that. So direct perception, that is important part of this. The direct perception in the sense, although we have direct perception, seeing shapes, colors, taste, tactile, so forth, here they're talking about mental state. Of course, we have mental direct perception, but here we are talking about mental direct perception on emptiness. And that is what here we are talking about. To have that kind of yogi direct perception, then how that kind of yogi direct perception is cultivated or nurtured, then it is nurtured by the union of shamatha and vipassana. The union of shamatha and vipassana is nurtured. Nurtured in the sense that union is experienced again and again and again and again. Eventually it will become direct. Initially, it is not direct. It has a veil between the object and that union. Whatever that object might be. It might be emptiness, it might be the impermanence, it might be nature of dukkha. But repeating that in our mind, when I say repeating that in our mind, in the sense that not our mind is separate from what is repeated. Our minds repeat that union again and again and again and again and again. Eventually it will become direct. And that is called, yogi direct perception. And according to these Indian masters, which are named earlier, that is the only way to have yogic direct perception. When this union of shamatha and vipassana is enhanced, nurtured through the repetition. Westerner won't like that, because Westerner doesn't like repeating again and again same thing. But that is the only way. Okay. So that is these pages from page the 200, and it continues all the way. And now that is almost it. As you can see, page 201 and 202 is end of that. But this photocopy is either the translator for some reason doesn't want to because of the nature of his text, or whatever the reason, it is missing some part of the Tibetan where it is. There's one section, but it is the photocopy that we have is a different translation. But in this translation, this is a great translator, Job Hopkins. In his translation, there is this bit is put it. That is in his translation, he says the way. That's how he put it, the heading. But in the Tibetan, where's this page? 379. In Tibetan 379, the heading in the Tsongkhapas here, he says Tani Lamchi Tundu Chungse Chobar Chade. So up to here, it's like definitely it is a conclusion that Tsongkhapa has not finished. What Tsongkhapa has said, from now on, I will give you a brief general conclusion from the beginning to end. The text from the beginning to end. And that is not in this text, this copy that we are reading. So it is in this text. There are three pages here. And even in this text, one section is missing. I think I can understand why they are not translated, put in here. The section which is missing in Tibetan here is heading what Tsongkhapa has said. Yeah, so that means the explanation in the unique training in the Vajrayana. So there's this section, 3 pages, which is also not even in this text. So you may have some other the translations, the complete the text. So that is really very much what I'm going to end. One small thing. Sorry, I'm not going to end this one here. I lost my where I marked. Oh, yeah. So just before, first I will say briefly this section that we are missing in the text. That is, Tsongkhapa is explaining the whole text in a summary. So, a person who, who has direct or who has a strong interest in following the Bodhisattva path or the Mahayana path, then he or she should follow these sequence, these these stages, and first he or she should seek a person who will guide him or her in the spiritual path, and to that to understand those qualities of that mentor or teacher or guru, you may say, then reflect on the how sort of what kind of fortune, what kind of great qualities that he or she had to follow those spiritual paths, traditionally called the precious human rebirth. Then reflect on the nature of that precious human rebirth, that human life, and particularly its nature of impermanence. And then also reflect on this is not only life. After this life, there will be many lives. And these future lives are very much determined by our actions, our actions of the body, speech, and mind. That is karma, traditionally called. And to one of the starting point to practice, follow the teachings of the Dharma is taking refuge in three jewels. And taking refuge in three jewels is done with the understanding of the Four Noble Truths and so forth. And then also the practitioner should not only to reflect on this lifetime's predicament or the pains and difficulties, also reflect on as long as we are under the afflictions such as attachment, aversion, and ignorance, there's no such as genuine happiness or the peace to be experienced. In other words, looking at overall, being in under the power of what you call the dukkha and the origins of dukkha, then cultivate to mental strength to want to be free from that kind of the nature of life. And then that understanding should be apply or transfer to other living beings. Oneself is in that situation. How about other living beings who are very important, who are very dear, who are very, so how about those other living beings? And through that cultivation of bodhicitta and engaging in the six perfections, and our today's reading, out of the sixth perfection, the last perfection, which is perfection of wisdom, realizing emptiness. And that is what here, a brief, and then at the last, what he said in here, which I'll read in English, in this person's translation, he says it. Using those as illustration, so this structure that he explained, you should also understand that with regard to those that have not been mentioned, how to make equal whatever have become weaker. In brief, without allowing factors of the path to become partial, your mental continuum should be serviceable in all virtuous directions. In other words, what Tsongkhapa made in the conclusion, make yourself very rich. Make yourself very rich in terms of all those teachings are there. Not just focus one topic, not just focus one teacher, not just focus one tradition. Make yourself rich from the different teachings, different traditions, different teachings. Make yourself very rich, then depart into the spiritual journey. The partial or selection will trim your wing to follow, to fly. Won't be that strong enough. So that's what here Tsongkhapa said. Then the next part, which is I will not going to talk on that. That is the cultivation of following the Vajrayana section. Okay, now remaining, I'm going to read, and people who want to leave, you can just leave, because there's no commentary, just reading oral transmission and ending this text today. So I have to do that, So, yeah.
Sombala meje kapsoya kowa jewa ume chung lu ka ba dan zo me be nyamsha ka ba ta to do jo ka ja che ko ma me jo ba ship cha ne rang ge lu ge ne jo la meje kapsoya ta we kowa ji lu ma be shu ne chung wa ta ra cha ka ba dan chung lu la ji me dan zo rung ji che to ba je ka ba ka shi do de ko na ni la chen 이제 라서 봐 예장 르라 내도 내배 내가 토배 조ren배 냠샤도 대코는 좀 거나 따도도 샤네 공바데 공바 녀버라 녀버라 그배 화동게 제공 중앙 현내 소 중앙들 메제도 대나 갑들의 제조 공배 샤 제공배 샤라 따도네 세제배 대코나니 공바 대코나니 공바 공바 마저 제대로 제배 저 초계 균 아마 초계 균제 아마 대단 데레 사와 템바 갑소 마바소 데레 셴 라마 셴 아마 대단 제배 그 균제네 손바 실라라 때네 하동 검 검정어라니 당보 따도 공바다 담에베 따와 많이나 검도 강한 제장 공도 강제자 공대대 코나니 제 전라네 버미죠 따와대니 니 고발라니 종주제네 탐제도 바다 종주응어다 종주대다 조소 변도 공매 송선 변도 공매 송인조다 종주 제 족도 제 개발을 당보라토 당보 제조 공문이가 그전에 다외코와 얘기한 태권은 공배체 따와 전대 대등도 샤네 마고만나 태권은 공배 미교배 다외 저바 찬양원도 다 타라이라 진 메세메 버라 줘봐야 태권은 경화민노 따와 전에 대등도 샤바 점만시라 공바야 나라지 신의 종주니도 니도 세베데 텔레 수베 화동 종주 셰베 숑든 숑게 되면 이봐 제조 니가 배마 공만에 대체를 다음에 되나 알아셔봐다 셔버지 소소로 제네 장보라 차오 제베 공지 제베 공지고 제나양 알아 제베 실라 냠보라 교회 신하게다 신에게 따라 교회 제바 정화다 파바도 조금은 제방 손바 제바 많다베 네자 충내 조금다 조금 많다베 조정 대야 제조마 대야 제공마베 내자 충어를 아니 충어 손에 제공마도 제보다 조금마베 제니 메도바 충어다 제장도 면도 냠보라 세메 내차라 피리 대와 조금 조금 망도 전에 실라 찬념 제공에 또 채와 되더라 제가 고려 타마래 장야나 관계에서 활동 공부를 싫어하니 신도 채와 송배 대제 실라 좀 마멜로라 샤바 신도 세메 요와다 대콘나 신도 세와 메동와이 대제 신의 공부를 차오 신의 차세양 니제 로베 미신도 태코나니도 사와 서 통화민조 대다베나 대체 셰르와 공부를 저 시바시 시바 또바 타만제 된진지 진진도 송화 저는 제바 공부하면 대다를 전하지 종화라 또바 강의 탐제 대버를 준비 진진도 송네 고반에 메데데 된진지 또바네 된진지 또바네 또베 초점 많이 방아라 망도도 선배셔 대레마 대아마 대레마서 공조 최전도 송와라야 대다라 메데장 대담바 최전도 전에 르 강송아 진지경어 냠바야 메레바다 또바 강 또배 강도 송와라야 리베 네바바 통화네 리베 가자 텔레체베 군대베인 롱게 된야 대 롱게 된야 멤버들라 최전 셴라 대다라 메데장 주니라 르 강송와 탐제 대신제 체제는 냠나 대야 진수 예배 교인 강송와 탐제라는 면 통조 출동 조와 되니 제 노래제고 도만에 태코나니 在这把个把送白切了，这把这把帮完了你，这把当然呢，唐伯呢，对嘞，他可能你公办呢，没多把这边起来人呢，说多把嘞，说多把嘞呢，太没的，就得你这说听个别切了，你把的来了，就送来了就来，唐伯呢，说多呗，没多呗一些，就是呢，对呢，中间这个来塞了话送的，送给留嘞，送的他的。本来新年弄个头呗呢，没中华的，中年新年十八线都送，羊他把它说到，羊他把说到把人呢，些旁边些了我就往给的，对这边羊他把它说到把，听你十块钱，听你十块钱，些说到把来。些说到把来，旁边些了我叫我送了，你把在这儿呢，没多一些的了。이제 빵 자만지 미제베 고베 바바레 대다라 셔럽게 남바라 저바데 관계 제 내줘베 오 내줘베 오버 관계 오니 대다 바라 녀바 미제바 대세 남바르 미토베 띵니제라 조고 조고 최 탐제 관계 오니 최 탐제 오니 매바니 장도 소셰 셔럽 게 오버 오니 소소로 또 소소로 다바데 소소 다바 미공기 이제 라 용서 방방 점 바시에 공부해 쳐봐네 넘버 또봐 나면 매 넘버 또봐 나면 매도 오니 매봐 니는 양 양 또봐라 민도데 셔러버지 나와네베 제 대다야 다봐 소소 또봐니네 야다봐 제다봐 신의 셰베 매중나 做心节最为没选择，做心节最为没选择，多为新生活中间的这个子，先说送把茶他们这呢，觉得这个呢，还讲特别介入，台大满呢，啥些上面中华党几点来，台湾党深圳来，上街党说节来，跑中华说没事吧，就个觉得你们这位介入。是吧？录制个的长久，甚至说大把多些说滚到了先把面把太大了，电线高把等级说了多呗，写了把高把面长久甚至来扛多南多能就吧，天天东年卡拉鱼多大家多些南北省。提醒那么的嘛，是说在那讲到，那大节原的呢，常住有嘛，些送把呢，大家多节多，等不了真把了，常住托把呢吧，等说多呗，写了吧，过吧，大家多节怎么讲呢？兄弟嘞，说多呗，说多呗，这边共同嘛，在可能你点了阿巴当高兴，听你三节节马新呢，没把就为接着等。呀，听你嘞，给当他呢，东半年当面接起了东半年，当年没把看光把太太光把它吃完，先送把呀，让兄弟叫我们别东年大没把那个光把美国的。美国给太大多，但把它送回电，但把送回当年没把呢，没别东年光把搞把人呢，几点来对不？到把来讲，工作他们这社会这东年对这短暂，刚些他了先就把听你，他会听你去的，新多面些送把大，这许多人家常话来讲，太大没把养大七星没说没。当面大瓦当提起来土巴钱没多，这送把样当面你个让杨桃把猪把没把听你杨桃把有把它大瓦多把人家大没把它大瓦没个让俺这转到长把的让新的这边让新没把满让新没把满呢让新的这把有把就把去俺把提新多嘞才嘛没把了这个那样电柱的才嘛的工作呢呢太大个对吧嘞碰的东西大呢成就是才嘛拉就见面呢嘛的先送把当有么全部来说东把我大没把写下我大没把这下我的这呢才嘛拉这小的帕罗都全部没就先送把那么的同样东西说 돈이 소 덤버려 송바라 차데 tukpa teta mena dote namale tongni la sharabji chabara ngaba danga wada teta mayina jeme ne la tamma jeme la te mayin she so la she ba merite te la te ba ya tsama la chabara juche da do tinyi le chen ma ran shin me ba yong so she ba tene sharabji parchin paro chinjo chabaya ka she da 강제 되제 되마제 가나제 셔러 넘버를 되자면 저반 직대 다나 셔러 파진 장조다 셔다 띵이제 잡을래자 가대 쳐라 담에서도 소소로 또바 소도네 강이 되고 바 대보냥 냥에 대도 되되니 다신 주신 강이 되네 시민조 셔송바다 셔게 파로도 쳔배니 뭐 셔르 보천주 셔게 셔르 전년 장제 셔 상모라 저거도 바다 제달라바 셰제벨렌도 젠레 세계 봉아오 대장랑 신계 동는 방향다 제소다오 셰 셔소 망도 송바당 그 제로 된바 다음에 배던라 소소로 대진 넘버베 균대단 다외가 바네 대외나 춘도벌에 초도 3년 정제바 춘년랑 신면 셰단 다단 다음에 당진다 제세주로 다음에 남바니 동는 시베 사변 고도 셰단 준주래 제다 다단 다게 제다게 동다바 내조 되는 내조 바데 토나바 토도 셰럽에 셰버라 저와 다음에 바당 심메베 니베 주 정보를 자워 대바라 나버라 메도베 송 대양 이체게 봉수 멤버 셰럽지 당내 된진게 미데 타완 저바고 대다라 고민 당보래 나버라 메도바 주베 송래 이라 메제 바당 소라 소바 참마 방바 참방어 셰 송바 강이바 되네 셰럽지 당나 미미바 강이바데 대대래 이라 메제 바 공기 이라 제바 매바 점내 마이노 되셰 매베 뇽조라야 대다라 통마 매바 통마매베 되네 소라소 방어 셴바네 이라 제바 방바 점제 봉와네만 셰송 셰라와 이라 셰송 셰송러바레 이라 제바 공베 천진 봉와 송바 나만자 송와 남자 최신도 제베 셰라게 당네 된진제 미데 네 자면 메메바라 도베 더라 냐보라 조바라 공바 송바다 고바 고린도 군조 ting제도 당바라 예라 제바자 동리게 예라 제바자 고래 바바래자 세메 고래 세마 강이 바테 태양 장나 동바다와도 대 세마 강게 도바 태양 오니게 군도 소와 동바라 도대 대다라 도베 참마메 베네 졸라주 셰송 데네 용소 도바다 온도 용소 도바다 온도 동와니 참메바니 란주바 예라 제바 용소 방와 셰럽제 오봉오니 메제바 남바 메도바니도 조가 메세바 신도 사와 템바이노 셰 군조 텐레 대다 송바 원도 최신도 예라체바 태코나니게 다와 메나 태코나니 당라 메도베 세바 송소 조바 이제 봉와 남바 메도바 조베 대 야나 하샹게 메메가 마와 네바 고마고는레 까베 츠 나마셰제 담바 고레 담말레 삼제메 자바단 르로레 대바소 송바 데네 상메 터바단 삼바 자만제 도바 롬바고 고바 치레 대나마 파베 소소랑게레 바차와인 바신제 삼제메 자바라 소바도바단 양 상메 등라 등다마 손에 최신만이 셈바 고베 최송데 소소로 도베 셰로지 최신도 제바고 고바 메바다 대고나리 바다 롱아 신도 마메 가와서 대나마 남바르 메도베 오니 인도 송원자 최신 일라 제베 오니 일라 남바라 메도베 이셰 종화주베나 이셰 대드베 탈라템바 셰송바나만지 자나제 캠베 롱레라 테네 테코나니 테나 파베 타와 마니 베장 这样一拉没这把年把下巴，在河南年多把些毛高白追，那么新多改来就你把种水太大，潮的跟着恐怕那的送运走的，当波嘎达嘛光面就恐怕些着 Goma de da ge lam ring je da menga ngama nama ja chungde podowe pupule kaji tosama tu na ribame ashin me ba tena abada gomde me do bashi gara goma serewa tene tata nane teve tongine lodo gomba goma chire nyembo chum tata vena gomde nina jida dure tende mane kangna gombe susuro ta chungse me do nido ne baja tedara goma na nyemo tedara gona nyemo nyebo da tenji je so tangwa debe chero parjin je so debe parjin chero chobada sheraba gombe lu tenya kansa gomode teda tene tedara je so she chungwa daro nga niba che useme ni le lodwa ya senga lu senga shin te menga she zo lo kamala shile tum tenya che tongba ni ne she dona tishin she ba lu den ba chuni den ba se ba lodwa lo ma ta tele kiwe menga chuni denpa toba ja she sungpe shiro te zu ya chu ome dangma do sungpa dang lobe kamala shi le kumbha ni dawar nawa jebar tangwa yin sungpa chung su ji joro jo so kebar ne tata lakdong chungwa la jowe churu denpa dang tun churu denpa dang tun yung shi dang tun je dang tun samsu chidar chawa dang kebar do jingko dang tewe chung su nam ngara shebara cha ngara she shimba dang ngara shine shebara cha shiba gombe lakdong jowe tsala nga tangbo 조금 신도 장배 경운도 대다라 소소로 도배 셔라지 전에 공부 나 나라셰베 시신대 대 마제 춘제도 활동 제tum바인 대래신 활동 신이반 시신지 오다 기로네 알아들 셔버차 니바 신내지 신장 자마 미쇼바 대야 신내 두발라 마녀바 여바다 대템배 대당배 신장장 예배 신장 여바 자만지 메노 대오나 대칸이냐마나 제고마 제배 대랑독지 신장 대토바나 대다라 활동도 주로 대다라 지니바 미바다 치타와라 미바 활동이가 라양자 송바 활동 주제 대단인배 공원 대야 공대래 좀 되네 전주선바 대 전주선바대 지세도 루다스메 신도 정화 마도바 치다라 렉바라 산배 최 대단라 띵인지 주 송예 나도 일라 제베 일라제바 대라 지시지 장바 활동네 말라데 활동의 제조屯배 나바다 총바된 바인바 저바 저와셰 셰진 명알레장 대당 대류당 세메 신도 자와 토바 팅이라 네데 제다라 산바 팅이 된 관계 띵인제 송예지 주 하바라 메바 소소로 다바라 지세도 제대 지세도 르다스메 신도 장바라 제바 지세도 활동당 제소屯배 일라 저바 일라 관계세 제바 대세 활동이노 셰다 시바 제배 신장 당 제배 신장 전도 땡이제 템포로 전전 신장랑 독게 dentumna semeze je banya denu sosorotobe chegomunje랑 독게 신내 den바 되네 ngado 신내 두베 윤데노 ngaba 대라 로도 메론춘 대다라 신내 레보라 조바시게 제고마 제베장 신내 제푸도 중와 저 소소로도베 제고마 제나 내자 중도 저베 냠도 미송 실라 송데 제조 송바신 실라 송데도 제조랑 다 당보 주바방데 공대 숑셰거바 셰거바 담마니레 당보라도 당보 실라 송데 실라 송데 신내 하도 거 대니 두베 체제 가부소 셰바다게 실라니 아마도나 송데도 중되면 실라 송데니 제냐바라 톱거서 니발 하도 토바당 송데도 토베 뒤냠바네 대야 대야 남만 하도 토베 뒤는 하도 토바다 마토바 송데 토바 조바다 대전행 아제신이라데 저거 제베 뒤앙아 신신이 제 가서 샤바신 원바라 뒤체바 메바 랑게 조베 이제 토바나 송데도 조와 송바 실라 송데니 돕치 che to ba che jong song de go nya sa le te la de sam je shin la ha dong do den ba de ju je nya ba song do jo ba da kang ge song do de wa ju ba lam da she na she me ba se me ne ba na ba gu ta le de da de nya ba sha ba Namba go kanyi ba toba gyurwa tingin zi yongso choba tela tene hakpe sheraba che nam nambara cheba la rabdo tsombara cheba te che che nam nambara me cheba lama kangi lam kangi jukba dan tsawa me cheba shine je lama chidawa shindo ngombara du cheba me be hakdo yongso jangwa dan shine je jeso songwa dan nyama debe yongso simba dan te chire te shine dan hakdo ni deba gyuro che deba gyujin nyambara chukwa dan shine dan hakdo songdo debe chukwa lama she dan sheba songde chukwa tuji sheje ni gorin tamale te chide kange se chingwa dan goba enbe Chawada goba inbe nyambara shaba rangi ngange choba te seme shindo sawa chungwa te se lewa te se zowa lebe tangyong chawa dan te se shine dan lakdong sundo tebe lama chob inba riba cho she songba dan lakdong tsingi ba tobe tsama ne yino ngaba chebe shine tangbe se shila tu chido penzu tsungden do songwe sheje me nga te wodo nambara toba dan chebe songye tingi la mi te seme tingi la kange tse gyunye mi cheba parma cheba yila cheba gyunji niga nyamso nyongwa te shineda la dong songdo tebe lama gomma lam she jodo tela shineda lakdong ne songyin la dewa ni denbe de penzu jingye chukba o she songde parama cheba chegoma tingi ge chone shine medoba sha megoba chegom tingi ge medoba tenba toba chenjo ngachi ni tu ji kya tu mi ji kya shila songde penzu juzu ni niga nyamso nyongwa ni medobe songye la mebe shine dan nambara toba dan chebe songye la mebe hakdong niga nyamso nyongwa chawa gyunji sheba ne chebe hakdong dan je tara nebe shine ni tu jikdo mi chungwe wangdo yinji je tobo je shine ngu tangbe shine je tu ni chidawa la mebe che rabdo nambara chebe hakdong dan chidawa zejido tenbe tingin zin shine ni tsungden do chuzulo tendawe tse shine tendawe tse shila ni deba ni nyobara chubwa o tela ni gomchung ge tokpa chungwe chula miyo nebe tingin ne ponya nye chulangwa shindo ne cha tenbu mi tokpe tse ma se tse ma shikbe nga ne damebe tenla sosoro chebe choge ni ju ni ka tsoba shila je tumba chuba tobe shila ngwe je songde je tun me to niba chuba pangba kongden dang shung shije dang lam rin je ba le lam rin mi je ba le chimo le she ba dangman te dar shila songde to juwe che shung kong ma te da ne chungwa shen do sheba chawo te le shen do do da ne che ba la yi den bi changju lam je ren be chen lam je ren be ri be ta che ba da she je long dang gong be su je ba ne la ren je ba le she ba chao ni ba lam je ten do wa la sum 당보 남제 저저는 단에 남아제 된도 중세 저거라 자와데 통마라 남제 자와 신텐베 도와다 반도죠 대내 대화 닝보드는 저도 제메드 조바다 나네 꼬마다 대다 제베 체도 대조제 꼬나면 꼬바다 대세 대드니게 로 마로반 직된게 치마드니게 통바다 르 토바린도 또 메타바다 신행도 참주요 고바라 배바다 대세 직바다 lo nema je wan de sum je yun de la ni ta ba ne ba je ba jam do to mo we do ba la ne shin te la cha la ba da te ka na te ka chu je cha wa shin she len de te ba da kom ne to go to ma ne je ba te la te ba cha de ge mi ge jung do la de ba je ba to ba she lam do jun do sho ba cha wa te da ji bu chung chogo ro chogo ro na ma cha to so ba da ko wa chi da che da ki 코와제다 제라게 님이 망도 삼바다 대라 코와제다 대네 코와 강레데베 규len 규뉴뉴 니모 뭐송와다 봉도 정정 코와레 베 라마라바 수마제 라바 수마제다 케바라랑게 강케랑베 소소 타바라베 대다라 기보 등게 초고나마 차소 소바다 랑세바다 코세 스스로 동화제 제신도 마나마자 된다고 손에 일라 제대 자문인지 자완지 장주게 세마라데 제신도 제바다 대매나 친도다 리니소 마망메 토 망메 토 제바다 다원베 대라 뇽웨 나바 텐드게나 뇽나바 텐드게나 초가송웨 랍자 베데세 메스메 제 데메스메 제데나 데네 초바 럽체와 나마 님바라 죽도지 참마 나마 셰바라 당제데 람데게 대제바나 죽도마 초게 소마다 랑규 민제게 파르돈 신규 민제 용어비시라 라 케바라도 자동라 소바 자동라 소바 동 사바 중데 다니제게 마고바라도다 마고도 고나야 체주바라도다 테네 셰진 타마니라 케바라도 랍고바 케바라도 라바고베 삼데 경외 로라 케바라자데 딩제 도바자 담메바니기 다원 남다시 규라지 니바다 다토도 샤네 종외 주는 셔브라자 좀 대달 삼대다 셔럽니라 실라니 민다바라니 대니 수바식 매베 창조제 도말라베 랍자 로베 셈나용원 이바 곰베네도 송마송 개발니 다제시바 대양 라모마 곰지 공마라 톰들 체원도 와다 공마니 바나 오마라 dumde 치제 개원도 와서 대나마 곰베 체양 대나마 곰베 체양 또바 장에 체양 로정 로차 녀바고데 대다 람라 티베제 신이라 고베 중세라네 렉소제 자레소제 자와 치베 진소베바 대신도 조발라 주쇼 총나 대조제 고로다 체대라 용신 소바 메다바당에도 님의 공발라 조로 쳐바다 개랑베 차점라 요와 나나랜데 공발라 조로 쳐바다 코알라 주시 총나 다바더니 제게 점도 조베 코베 님은 삼 제제마시 심진게 등도 로쇼 슈다미 나나 태종 대전게 자와 메세메 주 정바당 제세게 동바라 제바 로바라 천진게 청와 슈다베 나와 천진게 미데 리시게 시나 남가 더보다 주마다베 동니라 정바다 셈 미바라 메데바나미게 된도 송와 나나 제직베 내라 내자 성공 되게 공내 송바다로 송바 송바 냠네 치레자와 마송나 담바죠 대 전에 마셰바 남자 셰바자라 도나 초레 마송와라규 게베 차와 게베 초 탐제라 고와죠 도모와 도제 태발라라 존이바 개발도 도제 태발라로 베솔랑아 just now 1 or 2 pages 도제 태발라 로베솔랑아 담보 네바랑아라 조고바 담바네 대다 동안이 투모마이 투모와라 나마라 종배고도 데메사와가라 조바차데 라마데네 라마데 체 셴나마레 체 건바다 뇨도 손이 조바차베 체 니바 대다 중에 신예템바 개지 대라 조바네 람데네 송바다 통마라 라마니 바라차와 셔바 대장 하바공데 대레 태양 대레 셰베 친이 마다 마 상와 대다라 셔바 송바 주고 완네 진동 원네 담데 송마케 저와 대네 통마라 주대 공마네 셰베 원시에 규는 바죠 대네 대제송 대제송에 담제다 동바니 신도 셰바송 자동 포발라 라야 자동 포라라 랑바나 예장 남게 윤데 규게라 Geshe Tashi Te Magu Bala Bebaja Bombe Tuma Magu Bala Beijing Diala Gune Lara Che Chube Tala Neba Teda Ne Lama Gombe Lago Be Shi Yin Teda Mena Dama Zasa Be Kanru Dovaja Jambe Zadule Tsudime Chawa Tuwangi Ngagdo Lani Masun She Songbe She Songbe Ramjin Tasuma Kanyi Kanya Meba Sumbada Nejo Lamedi Gulaya Tamsi Misubada Wang Guru Mebata Tini Mishebe Sumani Sumaji Dujan Jin Mitubara Sumben Tamzeda Dumbaso Mebe Lama Gomba Ge Chebani Aji Tsule Aji Tsule Nambara Chambayino Shiva Minju Lama Luzula Tetara Tamzeda Dumbaso Aji Lam Gombara Chavala Jude Omasumtar Tsenjeda Semini Nejoni Rimiji Da Koman Rimi Nejola Rimdola Bacho Tedani Dire Mingsam Goning Ala Jupiter Chosam Tebain Jebani Ngaji Lamji Rimba Namle Shabachao Ngaba Teda Tejo Tendo Chezune Teda Suji Lamna Dongaji Ne Tamje Dube Lamji Yonso Zobala Labara Jubata Teve Tobara Tendo Chebata Jetemba Ringdo Rimboche Rangshinji Jula Jula Jebra Juve Nubain Sumba Tedar Tarchimbe Sula Sum Tenju Chedra Jumbe Sudan Sumakewang Zababo Rangejo Tambola Sum Dambe Chewa Jobada Chewe Tenju Zambe Gobada Tenju Jojada Manda Junde Tambola Sum Jire Tambola Sum Tambo Jire Donga Jechu Sunra Tamje Dangwe Chen Jave Doda Dode Lamsuda Namani Sungbe Dode Chonamde Sunrava Tenju Gunje Lamlani Meje Boba Jimbe Sung Shung Sanganam Dela Nido Dambar Chawada Niba Chebarado Donga Nige Tomwe Lamanedo Nezune Jude Neshe Tijung Lamada Malu Seje Juni Malu Seje Juni Sanjeda Sumba China Tumo Wetinzi Duzula Seje Habara Chiro Bada Nambada Teba Chichungi Nid Jude Konge Rimbani Kapso Jewe Tingize Tumo Shindo Seve Keba Mando Kemang Shu Shindo Labora Shebe Nejo Hulin Lamji Kosan Labora Toba Nibane Chanju Lamji Rim Chanju Lamji Rim Batuba Ten Larian Tandu Namji Tendo Somba Samotawa Jachabata Jazavata Chamba Jazavata Juzan Chambe Lavata Kubulu Tome Shivala Juve Chuo Nabasun Javata Pande Adisha and Damata Choda Niba Tenjo Zombe Gewa Temba Jeve Jung Dirbe Bebe Tobe Gewani Jigu Save Dowan Time Male Rindo Jeva Sumba Zababa Rangi Jeve Temba Sungrava Tamje Neduba Shinda Chambolu Tongmen Lamsu Namba Tamje Kembe Sartube Jibu Chove Chulo Jibu Sum Nyama Nyamso Lembe Rimba Tamje Sangura Dembe Chanchu Lamdi Rimba Gomba News Jubada the News Jubada Jangawane Jubani Podo Sharawane Jubada Podo One Tobopala Jube Nanga Toba Namaji Lamrime Jabale Larian Dubandi Mando Toba Gelong Pongwa Ba Shara Zonga Ba Losan Tabe Beji Rio Kandindo Jarwao. Oh yeah. So that is now really real end. So yeah, just 5 minutes, 9 plus 5 minutes. So for me, it is great, fortune to have this opportunity to read this text, although it took a long time, almost 3 years, but today managed to finish this, and it is great sort of fortune to have this opportunity to read at least once in front of 4 walls, I should call it. So whatever, all the virtues, whatever positive that has been, created by reading, listening, contemplation, all those positive virtues,
wholesome, dedicated towards well-being of all living beings, and and also those great teachers like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Lama Zopa Rinpoche. All those great teachers have a long life, and all their wishes to be fulfilled, whatever, and all our Dharma practices be successful by listening, contemplation, and meditation. So today, because it's already 9:10, we'll just read the dedication instead of Tara practice. So page 34, last page, the dedication. Chanju Sencho Rinpoche Ma Je Panam Je Juru Che Je Pa Nyam Pa Me Pa Yang Ko Ne Kong Du Perwa Sho Tōzē chāngshēn chāngguān gyāwē tēn dzēn gyōng pērē guān sē tōpō sē chōsō mō guwē lēng mē tō pā dāsō dē jē guān dō shā tēn shō kāng rē rā wē kōr wē shēng kāng dē pēn dā